my engine, and with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they boss my mind said be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make I finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information.
MTN.
Are you ready to revolutionize the future of agriculture? The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, in partnership with the Ghana Exim Bank, proudly presents the Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026. The fair will feature exhibitions, market linkages, masterclasses, and workshops on climate-smart farming, digital tools, and export development. Join us at the Black Star Square from March 17 to March 19 at 9 a.m. each day. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will be assisted by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, to open the fair. Government agencies, agrotech firms, startups, farmers, financial institutions, and the general public are all welcome. To exhibit or for inquiries, call 0559 679326 or 0242 585419. Media partners: Daily Graphic, Media General, Radio Gold, Citi FM, and Channel 1 TV. Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026, transforming agribusiness through local innovation and technology.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Fava, what do you have?
Well, in Parliament, the minority is demanding the immediate withdrawal of the 2025 District Assembly's Common Fund guidelines to ensure conformity with the approved parliamentary formula. The caucus argues that the ministerial guidelines for the 2025 DACF introduced fixed national percentages, new expenditure categories, and additional national priorities that are not captured in the parliamentary formula. Addressing journalists, the minority chief whip Frank Anodompre accused the government of breaching the Constitution and reducing assemblies to mere implementers of centrally prescribed projects.
Section 1261 of the Local Governance Act 216, 2016, Act 936 permits a minister to issue utilization guidelines, but only to facilitate implementation within the parameters of the approved formula. The law does not empower the minister to assign new national percentages, redesign allocation structures, override parliamentary weighting mechanisms, and create a parallel formula.
While the minority caucus further alleged that the Mahama administration owes the District Assembly's Common Fund 7.33 billion Ghana cedis, a situation they say is hindering development at the local level.
Despite being in office for a year, the NDC administration has not made payment toward these constitutional obligations and appear hesitant in addressing the remaining commitment and historical precursors that sends a troubling signal. The District Assembly Common Fund is not a discretionary generosity. It is a constitutional entitlement. Delay payments undermine projects, stall contractors, and weaken local governance. The record speaks for itself. Our government, the NPP-led government, inherited arrears and steadily paid them down. The current government inherited a stabilized framework and has slowed the momentum. If commitment is measured by action, then the evidence shows which administration prioritizes clearing arrears and ensuring assemblies receive what the law guarantees them. The district assemblies deserve consistency. They deserve certainty. And above all, they deserve governments that treat constitutional obligations not as an option, but as a duty. Furthermore, the arrears accumulated under NDC government covering unpaid DSCF obligation in 2024 alone stands at some approximately 7.33 billion Ghana cedis. The Minister of Finance, my good friend, Atifu, should come and tell me what I'm saying is propaganda.
You are the Minority Chief with Frank Anodompre. Now, Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Jinapor says faulty electricity meters identified through ongoing investigations will be replaced. The assurance follows a 7-day ultimatum to the Electricity Company of Ghana to investigate rapid credit depletion complaint. Speaking during the commissioning of MBH Power Ghana's new meter manufacturing unit in Tema, John Jinapor added that customers found to have overpaid due to meter anomalies will be compensated.
Once we conduct the investigation, assuming some meters are faulty, we have to replace them immediately because you must put the right meter. And if it turns out that people have overpaid, we have to find a way of compensating them. But like I said, it's just too early. Let us conduct the investigation. Fortunately, we have a very good working relationship with the PURC. So the PURC, the Energy Commission, the Ministry, and all the agencies under me are working together. We'll make sure that we get to the bottom of this matter and resolve it in a fair and impartial manner.
You heard the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor.
You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Today, there was a research or a survey from the Global Info Analytics that says that about 56% of Ghanaian cocoa farmers are in support of a recent farm gate reduction prices in the cocoa sector. There have been a number of protests, demonstrations, and picketing at the cocoa board over this matter, where some Ghanaian farmers are unhappy about this decision. But then the Global Info Analytics says 56% of Ghanaian cocoa farmers are really in support of the decision taken by government in respect of this matter. Let's speak to Musa Dankwa. He's the Executive Director of the Global Info Analytics, the author of this particular survey, to speak to him on this issue. Musa, thank you very much for your time. We understand you are far away in DR Congo, but then thank you for your time. In your survey, could you just give us a general breakdown of what you uncovered?
Right. Thank you very much for having me. We were doing a particular survey with different objectives. So when the issue came up, we decided to include a question or some questions about the cocoa issue as it was raging. So we sampled in total nearly 7,500 voters across the country. And we sampled across all the 16 regions, including non-cocoa farming areas, because cocoa issue is national issue, and the impact of what has been taken would affect everybody, not just people in the cocoa farming areas. So we didn't think it was just proper to just sample those in cocoa areas, but nationally, but then have the ability to synchronize or not to dissect the issue based on category of voters. So when we spoke to them, we asked them whether they were cocoa farmers, or they have families who are cocoa farmers, or they have friends who are cocoa farmers, or they have nothing to do at all with cocoa farming. So we are able to analyze the results in that order. Now, when you look at the data, what you see is that generally, about 44% of all respondents say that the cocoa farm price announced by the government is fair, whereas 31% said it is unfair, and 26% said they were neutral about whether it is fair or unfair. Now, when you look at the data in detail by category, you realize that for those who say, yes, I'm a cocoa farmer, 56% of them said the prices are fair. Unfair, 11%. Neutral, 33%. But for those who have families who are cocoa farmers, it is 44% who are saying fair, 17% unfair. Those who have friends who are cocoa farmers, it is 44% fair and 21% unfair. And for those who have nothing to do with cocoa farming, 40% said it is fair and 35% unfair. So you could see a very complete kind of different responses from categories. But interestingly, it is the cocoa farmers themselves that shocked me myself. I didn't expect them to support the process. Perhaps they understand the issue better than I do.
But if the cocoa farmers themselves are really in support of the decision, then it leaves much to worry, because in recent times we've seen a number of protests from these cocoa farmers, and some of them, petitioning the cocoa board and are generally not happy. And so a lot of people will also wonder, are these people really cocoa farmers, or these are different sets of cocoa farmers?
The survey was not aimed at just cocoa farmers, so they wouldn't lie to you for whatever reason. They wouldn't. And indeed, look at the regional breakdown. The numbers differ by regions, and indeed, the protest has come from what? Western North region.
Yeah.
And look at the numbers there. In the Western North, 62% say it is unfair. So you can see that this is consistent with what we have seen on the street.
So this one from the Western North. Did you do other cocoa farms aside Western North? Did you do other cocoa growing areas, say the Eastern region, which is also a predominant area in the Ashanti region?
Yes. In Ahafo region, 31 said it is fair. 36 unfair. So most people there say it's unfair. In Ashanti region, 29% said it is fair and 34% said unfair. In the Bunu region, it's 31 fair, 33% unfair. In the Bunu is 70% fair, 10% unfair. In the Central region, in the cocoa area, fair is 60% and unfair 28%. In the Eastern region, fair is 49% and unfair is 31%. In the Western region, fair is 60%, unfair 21%.
What was the sample size?
The sample size for this is about 7,554, spread across all the 16 regions.
And through the questionnaire system, or which other way of administration?
Yes, it was face-to-face interview with voters in all those areas, which we usually call computer-assisted personal interviews.
Very interesting. But I know people will ask that, Musa is known to be a political pollster. Why would you want to do cocoa farmers in this way?
No, but Sammy, if you look at our polling questionnaire, don't you see issue about corruption in it? We do standard of living. Everything that's national interest, we are interested, and so is everybody. If we don't do it, who else will do it?
Away from cocoa, let's talk about Yawaso East. On Tuesday, the voters in that part of the country will vote to elect a new member of parliament. Have you done some work there since the last time you did something on the NDC primaries? Have you done something about the election itself, the by-election happening on Tuesday?
No, we haven't done anything on the by-election on Tuesday. We did a bit of that. The actual result is the actual election in the surveys that we did about a month ago among general voters. What we intend to do is to do an exit poll on the election day. The polls will be done on election day, so we can tell people who's going to win before the votes are counted.
Okay, all right. But then after your last one in the NDC primaries, which Baba Jamal they won despite your prediction, have you recovered from that?
No, I have not suffered from that. I didn't suffer because I think the whole world witnessed what happened. And if you believe in democracy, then you know that something really happened there. I am not really bothered about that loss because it was clear. Because after the election, it wasn't my name that was being mentioned. It wasn't me that was being chased by OSP. It was some of the candidates.
Musa, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Musa Dankwa is Executive Director of the Global Info Analytics, and recently he's come out with a poll in respect of the recent developments on the cocoa issue, where he says that quite a number of cocoa farmers, he says 56% of Ghanaian cocoa farmers believe that the decision by government to cut prices at the farm gate is fair. He says 11% believe that is not. The neutrals remain 33%. And so for this particular research, 56% of cocoa farmers believe that the decision by government to cut farm gate prices is fair and it's in the right direction, despite a few people dissenting. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll speak to tomato traders who've traveled to Burkina Faso despite a recent killing of their colleagues in Burkina Faso.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. Now, what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand the Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Imagine making or collecting all payments without leaving your chair. Sounds like magic, right? Nah, it's Stanbic Pay.
As the Chief Financial Director of SBA Holdings Limited, payments from clients flow like magic through Stanbic Pay.
From school fees to utilities, government and statutory payment to investment, insurance payment, Hajj payment, and more. Just log on to Stanbic Pay and you're set for life. No Stanbic account, no queues, no stress, no last-minute panic.
Cherish your time and live happier in safety and convenience.
Just visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call 030-340-9212 or 055-676-0683 to get started.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
So welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. A few of your WhatsApp messages to the MPP will be in opposition for the next 42 years. This coming from Lexus Dwayne in the UK. The match talked about the economic gains of this government must equally reflect in our pocket, but the ordinary worker is not feeling these much touted achievements. Akapo in Afo and Mem. May the good Lord be with our traders who have gone back to Burkina Faso. We are bound to trade with each other as neighbors. What government must do is to provide maximum security. We the people from Oyarifa. I commend President John Dramani Mahamad's administration for its prudent management of the Ghanaian economy and for policies that strengthen our reserve and ensure stability. The minority must either support these national interest policies or keep quiet. From Daniel in Sandema. Sami from Georgia says, Honorable Finance Minister is a real man as the President of the Republic, John Mahama, is. We need to utilize our natural resources for development. Minorities should go to wherever they want to go, and we will not allow them to change the course of this country. Mugabe in Zebula says, the government is only interested in cap and go. they don't care about the environment. Another one from Dan says, okay, Danny, looks like I've read this text message already. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Now, the Ghana National Tomato Traders Association has confirmed the safe arrival of trucks that cross the border to Burkina Faso to purchase tomatoes. This marks the first batch of traders to successfully return with their consignment after a week-long border closure following the recent terror attacks that claimed 8 lives of traders. Chairman of the association, Eric Osei Tufo, says the leadership will continue to educate traders and transporters as they go about their activities.
The first batch of tomato traders and transporters who were given the chance to enter into Burkina Faso 3 days ago has arrived. This is the first car. I spoke to the driver, I spoke to the traders. They went through without facing any dangers. The instruction given to them yesterday, they respected the instruction I gave them. They didn't go to any danger zone, so they have arrived safely. I will continue the same thing tomorrow until I come to Kumasi. This is a sign of warning given to those carton traders. We know there is freedom of trade in our constitution, but that doesn't mean you can trade anyhow you like. So I am appealing to all those who trade in a carton boxes. They should come to see the leadership of tomato traders in Kumasi, especially the Queen Mothers. They have to sit down with them, negotiate with them, so that they also will be given quota for their trading activities.
You are the chairman of the Ghana National Tomato Traders Association, Eric Osei Tufo. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Fafa, what do you have for us?
Well, the Ghana Armed Forces has reaffirmed its commitment to working closely with the media to promote accurate reporting on defense matters and strengthen public confidence in the military. The assurance follows a capacity-building workshop organized for members of the Defense Press Corps, a group established by the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance journalists' understanding of military operations and defense-related issues. Speaking at the workshop, the Acting Director General of Public Affairs for the Ghana Armed Forces, Captain Veronica Ahin, said the initiative is intended to deepen trust between the military, the media, and the general public.
We all appreciate the vital role of the media in shaping public opinion and perception of institutions, including the Ghana Armed Forces. The media bridges the gap between the forces and the citizenry, carrying the unique responsibility of informing, educating, setting national agenda, and serving as watchdog amongst many others. It is therefore fitting that the Ghana Armed Forces has convened this workshop to foster open dialogue, share experiences, and learn from each other. This gathering therefore provides us with an opportunity to reflect on both the challenges and opportunities of working together. It is also an avenue to reaffirm our shared commitment to transparency, professionalism, and national unity. Today's session will explore the following themes: military media relations, challenges, and the way forward; the role of media in safeguarding national security; but most importantly, an open forum for an in-depth discussion.
Captain Veronica Ahin is the Acting Director General of Public Affairs of the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, the Chief of Staff at the General Headquarters, Air Vice Marshal Joshua Lati Mensalakai, cautioned that the spread of misinformation could heighten security risk, especially amid the volatile situation in the West African sub-region.
As the armed forces continue to support national and regional peace efforts, whether in internal security, counter-terrorism, peacekeeping, or disaster response, the importance of strategic communication cannot be overstated. The Department of Public Relations leads this effort, but it is our collective duty as citizens to remain conscious of the information we share, especially on matters of security, given the threats facing our sub-region. On behalf of the Military High Command, led by the Chief of the Defense Staff, Lieutenant General William Ajapon, I reaffirm our commitment to openness and professionalism in our engagements with the media and the public. We will continue to invest in platforms such as this to foster dialogue and strengthen communication between the Ghana Armed Forces, the media, and the whole population at large.
You had Air Vice Marshal Joshua Latte Mensah-Lakai, Chief of Staff at the General Headquarters. Away from that, the Ministry of Education is assuring teachers of its commitment to improving their conditions of service. The Deputy Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak, says negotiations are ongoing with key stakeholders to implement measures aimed at enhancing teacher remuneration, promotions, and overall welfare. Dr. Apak made the remarks at the Ghana Teacher Prize Sponsors Appreciation Ceremony organized by the National Teaching Council.
As a government, we remain firmly committed to strengthening the teaching profession as the backbone of our national education system. This commitment is reflected in some of our key policy priorities. One is our effort to improve conditions of service for teachers. We are deepening engagement with teacher unions to ensure comprehensive remuneration, timely promotions, and improved welfare. We are doing this because we believe a well-motivated teacher is essential to delivering quality learning outcomes. The Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service and the Ghana TVET Service, are working to ensure timely promotions and career advancement.
Here, the Deputy Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak. Meanwhile, the Registrar of the National Teaching Council, Dr. Christian Adepoku, is also calling for increased investment in teachers.
You believe in investing in human capital of Ghana. You are not just sponsors, you are partners in national development. Your support strengthens morale within the teaching community and sends a clear message that excellence in education deserves recognition and reward. We deeply appreciate the trust you have placed in the National Teaching Council. We remain committed to transparency, accountability, and ensuring that your partnership yields meaningful impact, not only for the award winners, but for the entire education ecosystem. You believe in investing in human capital.
You are the Registrar of the National Teaching Council, Dr. Christian Adepoku. Now, the Aguna-Swejo District Court has remanded Awudu Osman, a suspect arrested for possessing 154 compressed slabs of dried leaf suspected to be a narcotic substance in a taxi. He was arraigned before the court, presided over by His Worship Victor Kusi. Police have provisionally charged him with possessing narcotic drugs without lawful authority. He has been handed a 2-week remand term. Audu is expected to reappear before the same court on March 11, 2025, while police continue investigations into the case. Now, civil society organizations within the energy sector have called on the government to expedite processes for the construction of a second gas processing plant at Itrabo. The executive secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Duncan Amo, after touring the Itrabo gas processing plant, said the facility has reduced energy sector cost and sustained power generation. He, however, urged the government to complete the second gas processing plant within 2 years.
Ghana Gas is now able to also deliver about 50% of your current market demand. If you put these together, strategy-wise, it's become a game changer. So you would need the Train 2 or the GPP2 to come on stream so that it can add a lot more. I will be happy that we become LPG self-reliant, that we don't even have to import LPG at all. At present, what Ghana Gas delivers, we still import some from Europe, to augment. If you're able to finish the Train 2, chances are that you can be able to take over the 100% market without going to other places to import LPG. And so we are pleading that whatever support the authorities or government would provide to expedite the coming on stream of the Train 2, we want to see it done in the next 12, maximum 24 months.
Here, the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apple, has called on the National Anti-Illegal Mining Secretariat to immediately deploy a team to remove galamsey operators from the ongoing extension of the standard gauge line from Benso to Nsuaso, which is intended to transport manganese from Nsuta. Speaking to Citi News during an inspection of the extension works, Dr. Apple said the stretch is heavily affected by galamsey activities on both sides.
At the moment, 40 plus 600 to 32, kilometer 32,600 is the 8 additional kilometers that we are adding this year. At the moment, where we are, we've done the first and second layer of the ballast system. But going from here, kilometer 40,100 to kilometer 42,600 is where we are laying the ballast. At the moment, as you can see, the progress of the ballast is dependent on the impact that we are having from the galamsey. Okay, in order not to contaminate the ballast, it is slowing the progress of the work because of the galamsey activities. Because if the chlorine contaminates with the ballast, they have to what? Relay again at a cost to the state. This is why we are calling out for the support of NIMOS to come and clear all these illegal miners who are destroying this infrastructure.
You are the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apple. Authorities in Bimbilla in the northern region are appealing for additional relief items for victims of the recent rainstorms, saying the supplies currently are available are inadequate. The storm damaged more than 1,000 homes and other properties, forcing many families to seek shelter with relatives and neighbors. Speaking to Citi News, the Assembly member for the Kpalga electoral area, Al-Hassan Adam Nuhu, said although some relief items have begun arriving, they are insufficient to support all affected households.
We are having the update that NADMO, any moment from now, will be coming in with relief items to assist with those who could not be able to rebuild or roof their structures. The relief items have started arriving. Those that they brought earlier on, they are still there because the number wasn't something that could take care of the destructive structures. So they requested that more should be supplied. And I'm told it has started arriving. I think any moment from now, when it is assembled, that is what maybe we'll be using to take care of the houses that were completely destroyed and those who could not roof or rebuild on their own. By the other time I told you, our MP intervened by way of giving 100 packets of zinc as well as 300 bags of cement. Hopefully, that one will be added to what the Assembly will be making provision of, and then NADMO, whatever they come out with, maybe that one too will be added to that before the distribution will be done.
You are the Assembly member for the Kpalga electoral area, Al-Hassan Adam Nuhu. Now, the family of a woman accused of witchcraft in Bimbilla is demanding justice following an alleged attack on their home. Last night, some youth in the area reportedly vandalized the house of the woman and her husband, accusing her of engaging in witchcraft. Speaking to Citi News, a son of the accused woman, Fuseni Iliasu, said he does not know the whereabouts of his parents.
Right now, I don't know the place. Right now, I want to look and find my mother day. Before, right now, I need justice. I need justice. If you want to go to court or go to court, you will know the justice.
You heard from Fuseni Eliasu, the son of the woman accused of witchcraft in Bimbilla in the northern region.
You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. It's time for City Business News, and is brought to you by Republic Bank. We are your Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Join the Republic Verse. Do more, shine more. Big up.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house, oh.
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic Verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Melody Fafa, but to let's settle for the details now. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers (COPEC) has projected marginal increases in petrol and diesel prices for the first pricing window of March 2026. The Chamber attributes the anticipated adjustment to a slight rise in the global crude oil prices, despite a modest appreciation of the Ghana Citi against the US dollar. In a statement issued on Tuesday, COPEC indicated that petrol prices are expected to increase by 3.59%, while diesel prices could edge up by 1.52%. Liquefied petroleum gas (LPG), however, is expected to decline by 1.57% at the pumps. According to COPEC's analysis, global crude oil prices rose by approximately 1.25% during the current pricing window, climbing from $70 per barrel to $71 per barrel. Away from that, independent strategic advisor and former executive vice president of Unilever Global Markets, Yao Nsako, has made a compelling case for the government to begin designing a comprehensive and forward-looking strategy to enhance trade relations with China. He noted that China remains one of the world's most influential economic powers, with deepening commercial ties across Africa. He spoke at the China Opportunity for Africa Businesses Forum organized by AB and David Africa.
China has an Africa plan. Where is the Africa plan for China? It doesn't exist. Where is the Ghana-China plan? That is not just about that. We have some artisanal items, SME here and there, but we have a partnership that significantly can transform this country. It doesn't exist. Does America have a China plan? Yes. Does China have an America plan? Yes. So where is ours? So the real risk here is that the African people are going to continue speaking, and we will wake up 30 years time, we'll be further behind. Because somehow we have drunk the tonic, that we have something that nobody else in the world has. But what is that? It doesn't exist. Whether it's gold, it's oil, other people have it. I used to think our agricultural produce until I saw Latin America is competing with us in a big way. The Chancay port has just been built in Peru. So we will joke around and we will see that we have gone even deeper into poverty. The Chinese are willing to come here, do stuff like Eric was talking about in technology, etc. Where is the plan of the state?
Yao Nsako is an independent strategic advisor and former executive vice president of Unilever Global Markets. Now, government has directed the National Communications Authority to accelerate the rollout of fifth-generation mobile networks with a target to achieve 70% population coverage by Ghana's 70th Independence Day in 2027. Speaking at the launch of the 30th anniversary of the National Communications Authority in Accra, the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nati George, said the Cabinet has taken a bold policy decision to democratize the deployment of 5G technology in the country. According to him, the ministry will issue clear directions to the NCA within days to commence preparations for a spectrum auction expected to take place in the coming weeks.
The Cabinet of Ghana took the bold policy decision to democratize Ghana's deployment of 5G technology. The decision has been taken to remove the current exclusivity mandate for the sole license holder and offer spectrum resources to the market through a national competitive bidding process, enabling network-led rollout of 5G technology. This decision does not cancel the wholesale model. It simply provides multiple options for our market players. To this end, The regulator, the NCA, will be receiving clear directions in the next few days from the ministry to begin the process for a spectrum auction within the next few weeks. Let me be clear. Our vision is to achieve 70% 5G population density coverage by the 70th independence and celebration of our beloved nation next year. And so the work is cut out for the regulator. You have barely a year to roll out 5G using both the wholesale model and network-led operations and achieve 70% coverage.
Samuel Nate George is Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations. Government says it will not require consumers to create their own load shedding schedules, insisting that Ghana has sufficient generation capacity to meet current electricity demand. Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, gave the assurance while representing the sector minister at the commissioning of MBH Power Ghana's newly constructed energy meters manufacturing unit in Tema. He explained that recent disruptions reported in parts of Kumasi, Adenta and surrounding communities are due to distribution challenges, not a shortfall in electricity generation.
We experienced some power outages in few communities in Ghana, especially Accra, part of Accra, and then Kumasi. The minister was to assure that those that happened within Kumasi, the issues have been resolved. Those that happened within Adenta area, the challenge was an overload. The load we had within the period, within the area, was above the capacity of the transformers. So as we speak, there's a team on the ground. They started work last night. We are replacing the transformers into an upgraded one. And we are hopeful that by Friday, they should be done with it. And the challenges faced within people within Adenta and its environment, which stretch all the way to Lodwar, should be resolved. I wish to emphasize that with the measures and the pragmatic step put in place by the minister, we are no more going back to the days when we will ask you to bring your own timetable. I mean, do so is something that is going to be a thing of the past. Because we do not have any challenge with generation. There's nothing like generation deficits. We inherited about 700 megawatts power shortage. But when this government, within the last 11 months, we have not experienced any load shedding. So the challenges that we have now, there are some challenges that has to do with the distribution. We are resolving them.
We are the Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah. Now, President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana's industrial sector is yielding results, strengthening domestic revenue mobilization and reducing dependence on input. He made the remarks at the sword cutting ceremony for a new float glass factory and the commissioning of a sanitary ware factory by Kida Ghana Ceramics Company Limited in Shama in the Western region. The president stated that when the factory reaches full production in August next year, its annual tax contribution is expected to exceed 1 billion Ghana cedis.
Since 2016, KEDA has been a reliable industrial partner. In 2025 alone, the company contributed, can you guess, 740 million Ghana cedis in taxes alone. So why a float glass factory account from August next year, at full production, what tax are obetia free Shamaha to Ghana Revenue Authority will exceed 1 billion cedis. That is the revenue we use to build schools for our children. That is the tax revenue we use to build hospitals for our people. And it's the revenue we use to build roads so that we can connect our people to markets. And talking about hospitals, Shama for Wonka Wakumantuon, more hospital no Yababa Besi.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama. Now, consumers and business confidence strengthened in December 2025, with the Consumer Confidence Index rising to 116.4 from 115.3 in October, while the Business Confidence Index climbed to 107.7 from 106.5 over the same period. Here's more.
According to the January Monetary Policy Report released by the Bank of Ghana, the improvement in consumer sentiment was largely driven by easing inflationary pressures, signaling growing optimism among households about price stability and near-term economic prospects. Business confidence also firmed as companies cited the attainment of internal performance targets, relative exchange rate stability, and expectations of lower borrowing costs as key drivers of their outlook. The results align with movements in Ghana's Purchasing Managers Index, which rose to 51.1% in December 2025 from 50.1% in November, indicating an expansion in business activity, mainly on the back of increased new orders. The rebounding sentiments suggest that recent macroeconomic stabilization measures are beginning to filter through to the real economy. For policymakers, improving confidence is a critical transmission channel for sustaining growth, as stronger household sentiment can support consumption.
You had Emmanuel Pong with that business desk report. Well, that's it for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Join the Republic verse. Do more, shine more, big up. I am Melody Fafa. But if you're up next is Point Blank.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house, oh.
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Ramadan Kareem, a season of peace, blessings, and giving. Electroland Ghana Limited is bringing blessings into your home with special value deals on Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO. NASCO TVs from just $699, bottom fridge freezer from $1999, chest freezer from $1999, Samsung 6 kg twin tab washing machine for 2,999 Ghana cedis, Samsung microwaves from 1,799 Ghana cedis, TCL 43 inches for 2,999 Ghana cedis, TCL water dispenser for 1,599 Ghana cedis, TCL front load inverter for 5,999 Ghana cedis, Media air cooler for 1,499 Ghana cedis, air fryer, juicer, stand mixer, and blender at all special Ramadan prices. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealers nationwide. Call us on 0503 159739 and on our website at www.electrolandgh.com. Electroland Ghana, bringing Ramadan value home.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, and this is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. Tonight on Point Blank, our guest is the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways and the Member of Parliament for the Tamale North constituency. Al-Hassan Suhini is our guest tonight on Point Blank. He sat down with my colleague Jude Mensah Duncan to speak about his ministry, Parliament, and what to expect from the road sector and the President's State of the Nation address expected to be delivered on Friday.
A lot of expectation has arisen going into President Mohammed's second State of the Nation address, particularly on ongoing road projects. In the words of the president, he said he was going to turn the country into a construction site, for his second term, which many have described as a legacy term. Can you give us a very brief update on some of the ongoing projects in the ministry?
Well, one of the pillars on which President Mahama campaigned to return to power was, apart from the big push agenda, his trustworthiness, the fact that he was one that you could count on to live up to his own promises. And yes, you indicated in your intro that the big push featured prominently in his last State of the Nation address. He also indicated his desire to turn this country into a construction site. And he talked about stalled projects and the need for the government to ensure that those projects were pushed forward, because after all, those projects are Ghanaian projects funded by Ghanaian taxpayers, and our constitution requires that a succeeding government will always continue projects that it inherited. So clearly, true to his trustworthy nature and the fact that he promises what he believes he can deliver, you can go out there with your microphones today and speak to people who live in their communities, and I'm very sure that you will not find any verdict other than the fact that he is walking the talk in many of our communities, as far as one, the continuation of projects inherited are concerned, major projects inherited are concerned, and two, the fact that many of our communities are seeing construction going on. You have the big push projects that touches every region. All the 16 regions of Ghana were carefully zoned, and projects were carefully selected to impact the economic growth of the country. I mean, it's so sad that after several years of independence, over 60 years, we cannot boast of one, good road linking two capital cities. None exist as we speak. Not Accra to Cape Coast, not Accra to Ho, not Accra to Kumasi, not Kumasi to Tamale, not Tamale to Bolga. You can't boast of any good road linking two capital cities. Now, President Mahama, under the big push agenda, is seeking to change that. So you have the Eastern Corridor revamped, and work is aggressively going on sections of that road, and contractors are at various stages of completion. You have the Western Corridor, that is from Kaswa all the way to Takrady. Now, if you go on that road, it's become a construction site. You have the Wenchi all the way to Wa. If you go there, you have contractors on site trying to ensure that the Western Corridor is also, the road network there improves. Then you have the Central Corridor, that is the Nsawam to Kumasi, which stalled before he came into office, getting the attention that he promised he was going to give to it. And the work there is admirable. You go on social media and people are excited at the progress of work and the way it is coming out. And so I think that the second State of the Nation address is going to be one, an account, and two, other plans that he has for the future. He will definitely want to give a progress report on some of these projects that he promised that he was going to initiate or continue, and then also promise on some of the things that will be done to complete the projects that are ongoing.
A major criticism of the big push project is the fact that a lot of the projects cited were projects started under the administration, the former administration, but credit hasn't been duly given. What is the ministry's response to such claims?
I don't think it is fair to say a lot. I mean, a few of them, yes, were initiated. I won't even say initiated. Yes, it got a boost under the previous administration, because if you go into our books, you see that many of these roads, started, they transcend many governments. I mean, the Accra Cape Coast Road, for example, almost every government has tried to do something about it. It's not just the Nana Akufo-Addo government that started it. The Eastern Corridor, many governments have started to do. In fact, President Mahama started part of the Eastern. President Mills started it. President Mahama continued. And they came. You can say they did a bit of it. So if President Mahama comes and has heightened the attention there, it doesn't mean that the NPP initiated it. But yes, you can share the credit. The NDC is not, in the habit of appropriating all credit to itself.
But I say your government is not. It doesn't seem like you are willing to share the credit.
No, what is known is known. For example, when we came into office, the Nsawam project was at a standstill, and it was at, I think, less than 20% or so. And today, if it is over 70-80%, and we all know that the chunk of the costs has been borne by this government. Really, if we say so, does that mean that we don't recognize that the project started maybe before 2025? Everybody knows the project started before 2025. So you don't need to highlight that. You just need to highlight the problem you have fixed. And that is what the people of Ghana are interested in. I don't think the people of Ghana are really too interested in who started what. Like I said, if we are going to be dwelling on those ones, then no government can claim credit for any project. We will have to trace it back to the Nkrumah era. But the fact is that the projects were, some of them, not all, like you said, not most of them. The Nsawam and maybe the Cape Coast ones, you can say, the motorway, yes. But those projects are just a few. We are talking about over 50 projects. So if you have 2 or 3 of them that the previous government initiated, or they also continued because they also took over from President Mahama, I don't think that it is necessary for us to dwell on who gets the credit. The most important thing is that the attention that those projects are getting now, they didn't get.
Let's go to road financing. It's a big issue each time it comes up. The president, in his maiden State of the Nation address for his second term, said that your government was going to reintroduce road tolls. For the year under review, we've not seen that happen, right? So what is the state in terms of the reintroduction of road tolls for road financing projects in the country?
You see, the other notable difference between us and our colleagues on the other side, you must not lose sight of, is the fact that we are not just in the habit of ticking boxes. We want to make impact with the deliverables that we, promise to deliver when we are in government. And so what's the point in rushing to reintroduce tolls with the same problems that it had in the past? And we know the importance of, tolls to road financing. And we know the difficulties with the previous regime that we had in place. And so we promised to do better. And we are in the works. We are on the drawing board, in the boardrooms with various service providers. Only 2 days ago, a meeting was had, a technical meeting was had to review the financing arrangements of about 3 or so companies that have been shortlisted so far, so that at the end of the day, the company that will be selected to roll out the new tolling system that we want to introduce will be top-notch and will deliver the kind of service that not just the government expects, but the people of Ghana expect. So we have taken all these months since we came into office, just engaging the stakeholders in the industry. And if you speak to the GPRT, you speak to the transport unions, you speak to people in the industry, they will tell you that there have been constant engagement. Only last week, we engaged even some, news outlets on the reintroduction of the tolling system that we want to introduce. So we want to do it right. You see, if it must be done, it must be done well, and that's what we ensure. Ensuring to do.
Interesting. Honorable, let's come to the issue about the pace of road projects. Right, you alluded to the fact that a significant number of them are going on at different parts of the country. For road users and commuters, a challenge for them has been the pace of work. In fact, your colleague minister, even though it's an issue around the Works and Housing Ministry under the Guide project, complained about the pace of work on the Kanishi. But once it's roads, I'm sure it's, even though it's a Guide project, you're interested in it. And of course, other projects in different parts of the country. As a minister responsible for the sector, are you concerned as well about these complaints from road users, the dust affecting their business and so many other issues?
Well, yes, we are all concerned. And in the past, and even now, some of the reasons why some of these projects delay are numerous. But you can limit it to funding, which can also be because of poor packaging of the projects and poor consideration when it comes to awarding these projects. And that is why when we took over, my boss, the minister, highlighted how indiscriminately contracts were awarded, and so monitoring was, poor, and people just did what they wanted to do. It is not therefore surprising that the previous administration left us with a whopping over 100 billion road contracts in terms of commitment basis, and over 50 billion, in terms of arrears to pay. That is, claims that were certified. Yes, those were debts that they left behind. And the debts are because contractors go to site, they do drains, they do clearing, maybe they do filling, and then they raise certificates, and then they are not paid. And so they are no longer, you see, our road construction in this country is mostly pre-financed by the contractors. And I have always said that our contractors are one of the daring businessmen that you can find in this country. I mean, they pre-finance these projects in the hope that when they raise a certificate, government will pay. So when they pre-finance the drains, they pre-finance the filling of the road, gravel filling, and then they raise the certificates and they are not getting paid, then they begin to stall. They begin to wait because they don't want to put in more money when what they have put in already is not coming out. And so those are some of the reasons why you have road projects delaying. And again, when the projects are, haphazardly procured and just distributed like massa, you don't have the human resource even to monitor and ensure quality and ensure timeliness in terms of delivery. So that is why, since we came into office, we have been very, very careful. I mean, if you speak to contractors, they will tell you their frustrations these days because you no longer just walk in here and walk out with a contract. It used to be the case in the past. Now you need the commencement authorization, first of all, from the finance minister before you can even award a project to a contractor. And what we are also ensuring is that the finance minister has been very generous to the ministry in collaboration with my boss, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Honorable Kwame Governor-Agbodza. We have been able to pay over 9 billion to contractors. This 9 billion is just not clearing of arrears that we inherited, but it's also to inject confidence in the sector for contractors to be to have the assurance that when they are given jobs to do and they go and do the jobs, this government will act differently. This government will raise.
But that's your assurance. Yeah, interesting. And your point is well made. But that's the assurance to the contractors. Yeah. How about government assurance to commuters and road users that you are minded about the challenges they face on the road?
So that takes me to the next level, what we are doing to correct the situation. Today, if you speak to all big push contractors, they will tell you that they have been to the ministry not less than 2 times to give us updates on their projects and how far they are. And what happens, or what we have introduced and enforced now, is that every contractor is supposed to have a work program, and your work program will indicate how you intend to execute the project that you have been given, the number of days you intend to, for example, use to finish your drains, and after drains, how many days you are going to use to begin clearing of material that is considered waste from the site, how many days you are going to use to fill it with gravel. I mean, the work program will outline what you need to do. So they have all contractors now working under the road ministry are required to submit their work program to the agencies that they are working under, whether urban roads, feeder roads, or highways. And we have regular meetings to match activity on the ground with the work program submitted. In fact, as we speak, only this week, the minister instructed that some warning letters be written to some contractors who are back, who are behind their work programs and their work schedule. And those letters have been sent to those contractors. And the regime is that if you get one warning letter and a second warning letter, the third is a termination.
Wow. Interesting. Thank you so much for your time. But just 2 quick points before we wrap this up. Your government, the DRIP projects that was started by the Ersto administration, you cited so many irregularities. Some even went on to point out issues they described as corrupt in terms of procurement. But your government came on board, you appointed a coordinator for the project. Can you give us a brief overview of what your government's handling or management of the DRIP machines and the office has been since you took office?
Well, first of all, I don't think that we should ignore the fact that all the things that we have been able to do, especially in this ministry, is because of the sound management of the economy by the finance minister and the vision of His Excellency the President to, use those gains of the sound management to improve the infrastructure of this country, especially in the road sector. And we are grateful to be those in charge at this time. Now, when you talk about DRIP, it is only a name. I have said that one of the things that the MPP is very good at is naming things. I mean, they name it and they claim credit, whether it is initiated by them or not. Because if you go back into our history, by 2015, 2016, many district assemblies had been provided with the same equipment that, the NPP government procured around 2024 for distribution to the assemblies. And the whole concept is the same. The only difference is that it was not named then, but it is named by the NPP. So that's what they are very good at. Now, the concept was to ensure that very I won't call them small roads, but feeder roads and roads just deserving grading and little interventions could easily be done by the district assemblies. And that concept, I don't think anybody disagrees with. It is a concept that the NDC initiated, thought about, and began somewhere 2015, 2016. We lost power. There was no plan by the NPP government that took power in 2017 to continue with it. And so it fizzled out. Some of the machines got broken down. We know that some of them even got stolen. Their parts were pulled out. So if you go to the district assemblies, you find some of these machines still there. But towards the tail end of their administration, then they perhaps got a brainwave and decided to introduce this similar thing. We questioned the procurement, and we still feel that the procurement wasn't tidy. I think that is left for the investigators and the Attorney General to deal with that.
Any prosecutions in that respect?
I believe so. I mean, once the investigators are done with their investigation and the docket prepared, I believe that the Attorney General will be very willing to go to court. I still think that there was something wrong with the whole arrangement when it comes to how these machines were procured. But as for the concept and the utilization of these machines, the NDC has never really, questioned it. Indeed, in Parliament, some of the promoters of the DRIP, arrangement were NDC leading members in the Committee of Local Government. In fact, the current coordinator for DRIP, Neil Ante van der Poel, was the ranking member on the local government committee and was one of the MPs that championed and convinced members of parliament to approve the formula that allowed the District Assembly Common Fund to purchase it. And why did he do that? Because he was part of the local government setup under President Mahama in 2015-2016, when that concept, that idea began. And so he didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm not sure he was involved in the procurement and other things. So we think that it is a good, thing to have. So today there is collaboration. There are talks between DRIP coordinator, between the finance minister and then the road ministry to see how the road ministry can, absorb these equipments for utilization at the local level. And so we are at that level where we are talking about the appropriate way to absorb and adopt the machines for use at the local level and under the supervision of our agencies at the road ministry.
So finally, what should Ghanaians expect going into President's State of the Nation address, second State of the Nation address in the second term?
First of all, we should expect a better account of the state of affairs, because you recall that when he did the first State of the Nation address, he did not have a full grasp of things. It was still too early. And knowing President Mahama, it will not be a lamentation. It will be an honest presentation of the full state of affairs and an assurance, where necessary, with regards to how he intends to deal with where problems will be identified. And he will also give an account on what he has been able to do so far to fix some of the problems that he inherited. And as usual, I am confident that he will do so sincerely and with the humility that he is known for.
The NDC Member of Parliament for the Tamale North constituency and Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, Al-Hassan Suhini. In that interview with my colleague Jude Mensah Duncan. And that's it for another edition of Eyewitness News that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe. Earlier you heard Fafa Melody, show produced by Beverly London, Kwabna Wilson, Fred Tete Jabano, and Juliana Odaming. Technical assistant from Desmond Nyakon. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.